So hello everyone, this is the fourth video of our playlist of learning Python from basics to advanced. I am Shreya Kishri and I will be helping you in understanding all the concepts in these videos. So this is the fourth video and in this we will be learning the decision making statements, that is if, else, elif, nested if, match cases and all of them. Yes. So earlier in the series, we have learned about different kind of operators. We covered arithmetic operators, then relational operators, logical assignment operators. Next, we learned about the number system. We learned about the binary representation. We learned about decimal, hexadecimal, and octal representation of the numbers. We also learned about the variables and the identifiers. And we learned how we can take input and output. And we learned how we can format our output in the print function. Yes. So this is what we have covered in the earlier videos. In this video, we will be learning how we can make programmatic decisions based on the conditional logic. We are going to understand this if, else, and elif ladder construction and how we are going to write them out. We can learn how we can construct multi-tier logical branches using nested condition. Then we will use match case statements for the same purpose, and then we will write some real world problems. Okay. So what is decision making? So decision making is what we can do, we do in our daily life. So there are some cases where either we have two things to do, and if the answer is true, we will do this. If the answer is false, we will do this. For example, if this video ends tonight, then I will sleep. Yes. If it doesn't, then I have to wake up for a longer period. So yeah, there is two condition. If yes, then I have to do this one, and if I have no, then there is another code. So this is what we do in program as well. We check a condition. If there is a yes for that condition, then we do a particular code. If there is no for that condition, we have another code. We write this condition which evaluates to either true or false, and then we write a separate block of codes for each of the condition. This is what decision making is. So now we have to understand how we evaluate this. So for each decision, we get a Boolean evaluation that either is result in true or false. For example, there is an expression that is 10 is greater than 5. So we are comparing them using the greater than function, and now it evaluates to true. Why? Because 10 is greater than 5, we know that, and so the answer is true. So yes, there is a decision here. We are making a decision that if 10 is greater than 5 or not, and we are getting our answer evaluated to true. Similarly, we have another expression that is 20 is equal to 15. Again, we are using the comparison that is equal to, and since 20 is not equal to 15, the decision is getting evaluated to false. Similarly, we have 10 not equal to 15. Achha, this symbol is for not equal to. We have learned equal to symbol as this equality operator, but this not equal to is used by this symbol. This symbol is used to denote the not equal to operation. So 10 is not equal to 50. Yes, this is true. 10 and 50 are different values. So this evaluates to 2. So here in all of these three conditions, we are making a decision that either results in true or it returns in false. Yes. So this is how the Boolean expression works here. So this is the syntax. Here we start the main function, the simple if statement. So this is the statement what we have here. The basic syntax says that we first write if and then we write the condition. So if that condition is true, then we write the block of code that runs only if the condition is true. So this is the syntax. We write if, we write a condition, and we use the colon, and then we write the code that will be running only if the condition is true. So the code block inside the if statement is executed if and only if the tested condition evaluates to true. For example, we have here age is equal to 1020. And now we are writing a condition that if age is greater than 18, then we print eligible to vote. Okay, so yeah, it will first check if the condition is true or not. If the condition here is true, that yes, age is greater than equal to 18, then this print statement will work. But if it is not, then this statement will not be working here. So let us write the code. Let us try writing this code here. Yeah. So yes. So if I write here that the age of a certain person is 17. Okay. So here the condition is if the age is greater than equal to 18. Yes. What if this condition is true? Then we print that the person is eligible to vote. Yes. This is what it is. Yeah. So what is this statement doing? It is checking that if this condition is right or not. If the condition is true, then this will be printed. If not, then it will not be printed. So let us check. So yeah, there is nothing getting printed. Why? Because when we check that 17 is greater than 18 or not, the answer is false. Hence, this is not getting executed. But what if I change it to this? What if the condition is true now? So when the condition is true, this code is getting executed and it is getting printed. So this is how the if statement works. We check if the condition is true or not. If the condition is true, the code will run. If it isn't, then it won't. So yeah, this is the execution pathway. So should we start here? We check a condition. If it is true, then we execute a statement and then we end the program. But if the condition is not true, it is false. Then it will ignore all the executing statement and we just get to the end. So it skips the both entire block of code that we write here and it jumps directly to the next line outside the block. So if the condition is true, program enters the indented code block, executes the statements and then continues sequentially. If condition is false, program skips the entire indented block completely and jumps directly to the next line outside the block. Acha. We have to understand here this indentation that we are we have to understand the word indentation that we read in the previous slide. What does it mean? So indentation is basically this tab space that we get. If you will learn any other kind of programming language, then they use this curly braces to mark their domain. But if in Python we do not use this curly braces, we use indentation. This indentation means that whatever is written after this tab space belongs to this condition. Okay, so what does it mean? It means if age is this, then you have to print this. Only then you have to print this. So when we are executing this, we will get to this statement if and only if this is true. If not, then it will skip this code and it will return back to the line after all the indentation ends. Print then. So yeah, what will happen here? It will check if the age is greater than 18. Since it is not, it will not run this particular block of code and it will return this. It will return to this line and it prints done. But if the number is 19 here, then this condition will be true. So it will first execute this block and then it will come to here. So this is what indentation means. Achha, what will happen if there was indentation here? Then it would mean that this print done is part of the condition now. The indentation makes it the part of the condition here. So now if I will print this, nothing will execute, right? Because age is 17, this condition is not true. So this whole code is getting ignored and we are not printing anything here. But now if I change it to 18, yes, then both of the condition will be printed. So indentation is used to mark the scope of any condition or a function. Yeah. Okay. So this is another program that we have to consider. So what does the program do? We are assigning a variable marks and we are giving it a value 80, and now we are checking if the marks is greater than or equal to 40. If it is greater than equal to 40, then we are printing pass. So what happens here? The variable marks is assigned to the value 80. Evaluate condition 80 is greater than 40 and it returns to true. Then we execute the body, prints pass to the console. So this is what will happen here when we will run it. It is a similar program like this, just we are changing some of the name variable. So what we are doing here is, yeah, we are writing a variable named marks. We are putting a value here stored inside this variable, and if we are checking if this marks is greater than equal to 40. Yes, and now we are printing pass. So what we are doing here, we are checking if the marks is greater than equal to 40. If yes, then it is pass. So 89 here is greater than 40, then it is pass. What will happen if I will be scoring 32? Then 32 is less than 40, then it will not be showing anything. I am not pass. This is how we use it. Yes. Yeah. Now we are using an interactive user input. All this example, we have been taking the input ourselves only, but now we are asking the user to give us a value. So let us change a few things in this example only. So I will ask enter your marks. Yes. So what will happen here now? So it will ask us to enter a marks. I am writing a marks. Let us suppose that we have got 81 marks. So it will execute it. Yeah. So oh, yeah. Now it will work. Yeah. So it will ask me what I have scored. So yeah, I entered the marks 81. It will check it, and if the marks is greater than 40, then it will run pass. But what if I have scored only 12 marks? Then it will return nothing. Why? Because 12 is less than 40. So this statement will not be executing here. Okay, this is it. In this example that we are given here, we have an input that we are taking that is of age, and we are checking if age is greater than 18. If the age is greater than 18, then we have to print adult. Then the student is adult. So in the terminal execution, we have entered age where we are giving the value 22. Since 22 is greater than 18, then we are printing the word adult. And one thing that we have to remember here that we need to use this int function, because without it, it won't be working. Why? Because the input statement here takes string input, yes. But if we need to compare it with a value, we need to first convert it into the integer data type, and hence we need to use int function. Next is the importance of indentation. As I told you, indentation is what defines the code blocks. So Python uses this white space indentation to define the code blocks. So if we skip the indentation, then the result will be not what we are expecting it to be, and in some cases it might give an immediate indentation error. Okay. Yeah. Now we have if and else statement. We in this example, in the earlier example, we were just taking a condition and we were writing our code if it was true. But we were not writing what we will do if the condition is false. We were just leaving it like that. But if we want to write a condition for when this condition will be false, then we have to use else. So here we would use this else statement. So we are checking if marks is greater than equal to 40. If it is true, you have to execute this block. But if not, you will get here. We are saying else, that if not, if you are getting false, then you enter another block. Then you do this. Print fail. So what happens here? So we are saying that if the marks is equal and greater than 40, then you have to print pass. But if the marks is not equal to or greater than 40, i.e. it is less than 40, then you will get into this else code block and you return false. Now let us try to run it. So yeah, if I will write 72, it will write pass because yes, this code is getting executed. But what if the condition is false now? I am writing 12 again, then it will say fail. Why? Because now this is getting executed. When this condition is being checked, the answer is false. So this block is not getting executed, but it will get back here to the else part, and this print fail is getting executed. That is why we are getting fail in the output. So this is how if and else work. Use if else when you have two mutually exclusive paths. Execute one block if condition is true and another if condition is false. So if condition is statement 1, else statement true. For example, if score is greater than equal to 50, you print success, else print try again. So that means if your score is greater than equal to 50, we are printing success word. But if the condition is false, then we are printing try again. So this is how if else statement works. This is another example. The age is 15. So we are checking if age is greater than equal to 18. If the condition is true, we print adult. But if the condition is not true, then we are getting inside this else block and we are printing minor. So what happens here? We make a decision. If the decision is true, we execute the if block code. If the condition is not true, if the decision gets into the false, then we get this else block code. And after executing both of them, we get to the end. This is what happens in if and else condition. Now there is an example. There is a practice example where we have a program code where we have to find if a number is true or not. So what will we do here? Let us write the code for the same. We have to take a number. So we will take input from the user. Enter your number. Yeah. So we are getting a number as an input from our user. Now, what will I do here? I have to print even when the number is even and odd if a number is odd. But how will I check if a number is even or not? So we have to divide it by 2, right? So we know that if a number when divided by 2 leaves the remainder 0, then it is considered to be true or it will consider false. So what am I writing in the condition is the number modulus 2. What does modulus do? Modulus returns the remainder. So yes, what does it mean? When the number is divided by 2, the result that I am gonna get should be equal to, we are using the value equality here. We are checking the value equality should be equal to 0. And if this condition is true, then I am going to print that this number is even. But if this condition is getting to be false, then I will print this number is odd. So this is what we are going to do. So now let us check if the program is working or not. So I am writing 42. So it is saying this number is even. Let us try again. For I write 31, it is saying this number is odd. So what we are doing here, we are taking a number input here. We are converting the data type to integer. Then we are dividing the number by 2 and we are checking if the remainder is equal to 0 or not. If the remainder is equal to 0, then we are printing that the number is even. But if it is not equal to 0, i.e. the condition is false, then we get into this code and we write the number is odd. So if the remainder is 0, number is divisible by 2, so that is even. If the number is 1, number is not divisible by 2, so we give odd. Yes, then we have to understand this elif statement. What is this elif statement? Here, so far we have learned if a condition is true, then we write if block. Then if the condition is false, then we get into the else block. What if I want to check multiple condition? What if I do not want to get into the false condition, but I need multiple conditions here? Yes. So in that cases, we use this elif statement. In this statement, we first check for the if condition 1. If condition 1 is true, then I will execute its block. Then I check if it's false, then I will get into this else if fine, in which I check the second condition. If it's true, we will stop here. We will just execute this code. If not, then we again check another condition. If this condition is true, then I will execute this statement 3. But if all of these conditions are false, then I will get inside this else blocks. Then I will execute the default statement. This is the purpose of elif statement. Elif is used when if the this first if statement is not working, if it is not evaluating to true, and we do not want to get into the else statement just now, we need to analyze different conditions, then we use the elif statement. For example, here we have to make a grade calculator. So let us do it. Yeah, so this is our grade calculator. Okay. So this is the grade calculator. What I am doing here, I am asking for your marks. I am asking what marks you have got in your exams. So I will say enter your marks. Now I will check if marks is more than 90. Then I will print A plus grade. Yeah. So if the marks is greater than 90, then I will print A plus grade. Now, if this condition is false, if the marks is not less than 90, then again I will check another condition that says if marks is greater than 80, then what will I do? Then I will print A grade. What will I print? We will print A grade. Yeah. But what if this statement is also false? What will I do now? We will again check if the marks is greater than 70. Then I will print B grade. Yeah. What if this condition is not true as well? Then I will check if marks is greater than 60. So I will print grade C. And for all of the other children who are not getting even 60 marks here, yep, for them I am using this default case for print fail. I am failing those who have scored less than 60 marks in my exam. Okay. So what we are doing here, we are first checking this condition if the marks is greater than 90. If yes, then I will execute this code. If this is getting false, then we will again check this condition. If it is true, I will execute this code. If it's not true, then I will again check this condition. If it's true, I will execute this. If not, I will again check this condition. If it's true, I will do this. But if it will also turn to be false, then I will use my default statement, that is print fail. Now let us try to execute it. So my marks is 96. So what is my grade? It's A plus. Now, if my grade is if my marks are 87, then what will give my grade is, oh wait, 87, yeah. What is my grade? It's A. If I have scored 72 marks, then what will I get? I will get B grade. If I am getting 66 marks, then I have C grade. Now, if I have only 12 marks, then I am fail. So this is what my grade calculator does. It checks for different condition, and this is the default condition. So this is how we are going to use if, elif, and else. So here in the example, the marks says it is 85. If marks is greater than 90, we have to print A plus. Else elif, then we are again checking another condition, that is marks should be greater than equal to 80. If it is not true, then we again check this marks is equal to greater than equal to 70, or else we print C. Well, in this example, at least we are not failing any student, but I am more strict, so I'm going to fail students. Yeah. So what happens in the elif ladder is we check for the first condition. If it is true, then I will do the code 1. If it is not, I will check another condition. If it's true, I will do this code 2. But if it's false, then I will get to the else code, which is the default case. Okay. Next, we have to understand the nested if statements. What do we do in the nested if statement is we write one condition inside another condition. That means an if statement is placed inside another if statement. That is, once we check a particular statement, if it is true, we will get inside that block of code with that statement, and then in that block of code we have another if statement. So we check another condition inside that if block. Then it is considered nested because we are getting in an if statement. Inside that if statement, there is another if statement, and inside it we will get another if statement. So this is how a nested if statement is made. So the inner condition are evaluated only if the outer condition evaluates it true. So we get inside the inner condition only if the outer statement is true. So if the outer condition is true, then we get inside, we will check the inner condition, and if it is true, then we will execute its statements. Yes. For example, we have here, um, we get, yeah. So what do we have to do here in this case is, we have to make an outer if condition that checks if the age is greater than equal to 18. Then inside we have to check if the citizen is so yeah, if the given person is a citizen or not. If it is true, then we only say the eligible candidate is eligible to vote. Yes, otherwise must be a citizen, or we are printing underage. So what do we have here? So yeah, let's write another code which will check vote eligibility calculator. Okay. So what do we do here? We are first asking for the age of a person. Enter your age. Yeah. Next, we are checking the citizenship of the person. What have I done? Yeah. Citizenship of a person, that is input, enter true if you are Indian citizen, else Okay. So now what we are doing here, we are first getting an integer input, which we are going to store as the age, and then we are getting another input where we are asking if the person is Indian citizen or not. Now I am going to write my condition. So my first condition is to check if the age is equal to 18 or not. If the age is greater than 18, then I will do this very code which I am going to write now. Else, if this condition is not true, then what will I do? I will simply write that age, no, I will write you are under age to vote. Yeah, this is what I will write if the age doesn't match the criteria that we want. What if the statement is true? This is what we have written for the false statement. But if it will true, it will result to true. Then I will again check if citizenship is equal to true. If the citizenship is equal to true, then I will print you are eligible to vote. Yes, but if the citizenship is not true, if we have not written the true, well, then what will happen? Then I will print you should be or you need to be an Indian to vote. Yes. Now let us see. Let us try to run it. So my age is 19. Yes. Next we are getting asked enter true if you are Indian citizen, else false. So yes, I am Indian, so I will write true. Okay. So what it's saying you are eligible to vote. Why? Because it will first check if the age is true. So yes, it is this condition is getting true here. Why? Because the age is 19, which is greater than 18. Now when it will get inside its block of code, then there is another statement of if, and where it checks the citizenship is true. So when the citizenship is true as well, then it will consider the code of block inside it, which says to print the eligible message. So hence this message is getting printed. Now let us try again. Yeah. Let us try again. What will happen now? I will now enter my age to be 12 only. And yes, I am a citizen. So yeah. Now what is it saying? You are underage to vote. Why is it saying so? This is because this condition is not true now. So this part is totally being ignored and we are getting inside this else block and we are printing you are underage to vote. This is what happened here. Now let us do this. My age is 34 and now I am not the citizen of India. Then what will it say? You need to be an Indian to vote. What happens now? The age is greater than 35, so we get inside this block of code. But since the citizenship is not equal to true, we are printing this statement. We print you need to be an Indian to vote. This is how it gets printed. So this is the nested if statement. This is what happens here. Okay, now there are some syntax mistake that we need to consider here. The first one is missing colon. Whenever we write a condition, we need to write this colon here because this is what defines the starting of the condition. This is where the condition ends and this is where we are saying this the block of the code is getting to started. So we need to write this colon. If we forget the colon in the end of if, elif or else statement, then it will result in the syntax mistake. Next is the wrong indentation. We have to make sure that our indentation is right. For example, there is this one indentation, then there is this indentation. So we have to be very careful about the indentation. If the indentation is wrong, then the code will not be working the way we want. Then we have using this equal to mark instead of the equal to operator. We have learned earlier that this equal sign is used for assignment and this is used for value comparison. So in our conditions, we are needed to check if the condition is true or not. We are needed to check or compare the values. So we use this equality operator. Next, we have incorrect nesting. Whenever we have to do the nesting, we have to write one statement inside another. Then we have to be very sure that we are writing it in totally correct indentation block. The indentation should be right. Then only the program can understand that yes, this statement lies inside this statement. So if we are not doing the aligning of the blocks right, then it will cause logical bugs or orphaned else statement. This is what going to happen. Next, the topic is match case. So, match case is used for pattern matching and it is provided as the it is introduced in Python 3.10 version and it acts similarly to switch case statement in C, C++, and Java. We have been using this type of switch cases in C, C++, Java earlier as well. So now in Python we can use match case as well, in which works in the same value. So what we do, we check that we have a particular value, so we check for that value for that variable. We check for different cases. We check for first case. If it is true, then we will do that case statement. If it is not true, we check for the another case, and so we all do. And for the last condition, we have a case written like this. We use this underscore for defining the default statement. So it basically works like if-elif-else, but in this we can write as many cases as we want, and it will be like more simpler than writing if-elif again and again. Yes. So now here is an example where we are going to predict the day according to the date. Yes. So we have a week day predictor. Yeah. So what does it do? We will get the date as an input. Yep. Enter the date of the week. Yes, we are getting a number from the user. Now what we are doing, we are writing a match case. So we have to match this date. Yes. What is the variable that we are going to match is this date, and now for this match date we are going to write cases. So the first case is 1, and what will we do in this one is that we will print Monday. Similarly, I have the second case where the number is 2 and I will print Tuesday. Yes, let us try to run it. Yeah. So if I write 1, what will it do? Monday. So what is it checking? It is matching this date. It is matching the value stored in the date variable with its cases. It checks to the first case. It checks the pattern if this case value is matching with the date value, and since it is true, then it is executing this for the block, and it is printing Monday. So similarly, we can write for all the 7 days of the week. Just like that. I am going to just copy paste the code. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes, and we need one more, that is 7. Yeah. And now I will change this. I want Wednesday, then Thursday, I also need Friday and I have Saturday. And lastly, I have Sunday, right? So now when I will run this, okay, and I will write one more default case, and the default case I told you is written under this underscore, and I will say print type a valid number. Yeah. Now let's see what happens. So I am running the program again. It is asking me for a date of the week. So I will write 4. What will it give? It's saying Thursday. What happens here? This 4 value is getting stored in the date. Then when we match the value stored in the date with the cases, it gets matched with case 4 and hence it is printing Thursday. But what will happen if I will not write one of these cases? I won't write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but instead I will write 8 here. What will happen then? It says type a valid number. Why? Because all these cases are not getting matched. So at last we are going to get into this default case, and by default case we are printing type a valid number. So this is how match and match case work. If we have to write the same code with if and else, we have to first write if this, elif this, elif this, elif this, elif this, and we have to write this so many times, right? So using this match cases, using this we are minimizing the time, and this is basically used for writing multiple codes. So we learned about the wildcard default case, which works if none of the other cases get matched, and this underscore serves as a catch-all wildcard case. Yeah. So as I was telling you, if elif else and match cases works for the same thing, but if elif else is best used for complex logic ranges, rational checks, and match cases are used for fixed values and discrete pattern matching. If elif else can be used for making decisions, and that decisions can be varied a lot, and it can be used in complex logic, but match case can only check for the pattern matching. It can be only used with pattern matching. If we are talking about the flexibility, then if, elif, and else has higher flexibility because it allows all this comparison. But here match cases only provides the structured exact matches. Here the cases matches exactly. It doesn't provide a way for using it to for lower, greater than, and any other of these things. Then we have the Python version. If, elif, else can be used in all version, but match case can be used with 3.10 and other Python versions only. Then we have this readability. So if, elif, else can get messy, because as I told you, we will get much messier code if we write if, elif, else. But match case will make it very readable, as it is menu driven program, because it writes all of the program like this. So this is the difference between if, elif, and the match case. So these are the few example from the real life application. The first one is ATM machine, where we use it for PIN verification and balance check. Then we have login validation or the traffic signals and shopping discount. The easiest one that we can consider here is the traffic signal. If the traffic signal is red, then it means stop. And if the signal is equal to yellow, then it means ready, or else it means go. So this is how the decision making is used in real life application. Now there are some of the question where we needed to predict the output. So we will do this question here. So let's start with the practice question. First, we have to predict the output in this question. We have x is equal to 10. And it says that if x is greater than 5, then we have to print A, else we have to print B. So let's do it. X is equal to 10. Now we write a conditional statement checking if x is greater than 5 or not, and it says if it is, then we have to print it A, else we have to print B. So here it will check if the value of x is greater than 5 or not, and since x is 10, IA it is greater than, and hence we will get A. Yes. So here we get A in the output section. So yes, the output is A because 10 is greater than 5. This condition will be true. So so since this if condition is true, this code of block will be executed. Yeah. So now there are some live coding challenges. These are the practice problem. And then we have some homework assignments, and after that we will finish this video. So let's get into the first question. It says we have to find the largest of the two numbers entered by user. So what do we have to do here? We have to take two inputs from the user, which will be two numbers, and we have to find the largest number of the two of them, right? So let us make a variable num1, and we will take the inputs from our users. Like this. Similarly, we have to take the other input, that is for number 2. Yep. So we take two inputs from the user, and now we have to check which one is greater. So we will write a conditional statement. We have to make a decision, right? We will have to check if num1 is greater or num2 is greater. So we will write if num1 is greater than num2, then we will print then there is this else condition where we will print if so what we are doing here is so what we are doing here is basically that we are checking if num1 is greater than num2. If this condition is true, then this block will be executed, and we will write that num1 is the largest number. But if it is false, then we will be executing this line of code, and we will say that num2 is the largest number. Now let's try to run it. Yeah. So it is asking for my first number. So I will take my first number to be 8, and then second number to be 6. So it says 8 is the largest number. If I run again and I will take 14 in the first number and 26 in the second, then it says 26 is the largest number. So this is how this code will work. Okay. So this was the first question. The second question says that we have to check if a user is eligible to vote or not, and for that we have a criteria that age should be more than or equal to 18. Right. So first we have to take an input from the user, which will tell us what the age is. Yeah, like this. And once we get the age, we have to write a condition in which we check if age is greater than equal to 18. If it is, then we will write QR eligible to vote. And if this condition is not true, it is false, then we will write you are not eligible to vote. Now let's try this out. So it is asking for our age. My age is 19, so I am eligible to vote. What if my age is 12? Then I am not eligible to vote. So what is it doing? Whenever a user gives an input here, the conditional statement checks if that input is greater than or equal to 18 or not. If it is, it will print you are eligible to vote. If not, it will print you are not eligible to vote. This is the second question. The third one says that we have to determine. So the third one says that we have to determine if a given number is positive, negative, or zero. Okay. So we will first take an input from the user, which will tell us the number we have to check. Yes. Now that we have our number, we will write conditional statement. So we have to check for three conditions here. Yes, positive, negative, and zero. So we will have to write two conditions. So first I will check if num1 is greater than 0. If yes, then I will print that num1 is positive. Yes. Elif num1 is less than 0, then I will have num1 is negative. Yes. And lastly, for any other condition that is only for num1 is equal to 1, we will for num1 is equal to 0. Then we will print num1 is equal to 0. Yep. Now let's try it out. If I write 78, it says 78 is positive. If I write minus 12, then it says it is negative. And if I write 0, then it says 0 is equal to 0. Okay. So this is how we will do this third question. Now coming up to the fourth challenge, it says we have to check if a year is a leap year. So what is the hint here? That year divided by 4 will leave a remainder that is equal to 0. So what will we do here? We will take an input from a user. Yes. So after we took the input, we will check if this is on dividing with 4 leaves 0. So the first condition is this. And when it is true, I will print that it's a leap year. Else, it will print it's not a leap year. So here, if I write 2024, then it is showing that it's a leap year. And if I say 2026, then it says it's not a leap year. So it's working right. This is how we are going to find if a year is a leap year. But here we are using this condition to find if a year is leap year or not. But in more defined cases, we have another condition for it. This condition says that for an year to be a leap year, so this is the right way of doing it. We either check if the year is divisible by 400 or not. And the second condition is that it can be divisible by 4 but can't be divisible by 100. So these are the two conditions which prove that a year is a leap year. So this is how we are going to find it. So yeah, these were all the practice questions. Here are some of the homework assignment. You can practice the codes from here only. Yeah, so this is it. So in this lecture, we learned about how we use if else, if-elif-else, and we also learned about the match cases. And we have also understood about how indentation is important and how colons are mandatory and how each of these conditional statements work. So in the next video, we will be covering loops in Python. So this is it for this video. We'll meet in the next video. Bye bye.